Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex.
And I'm Jay.
And we got some news updates for you from around the land of smiles today, Friday, June 6th. Before we begin, please remember to subscribe to the Tiger to stay up to date on all things Thailand. Now, today, we'll be talking about Thailand's motorcycle death crisis that's fueling the latest round of helmet enforcement. A U.S. tourist defacing a Chiang Mai temple wall and possibly evading justice. And a little later, the latest updates on the evacuations and military mobilizations on the Thai-Cambodian border. Before we dive into it, though, please, let's hear a word from our sponsor, Jay.
That's Fazwaz, ladies and gentlemen. If you've ever thought about buying a property, selling a property, or even just looking at a property for research purposes, could be a house, could be a condominium, all across Thailand, Fazwaz is the largest real estate portal in Thailand. Check it out. That's fazwaz.com for your next real estate inquiry.
Yeah. Well said. Could even be for fun. Just like going through and seeing what's out there, knowing what the market's like. All right. Anyways, our first story, guys.
Before we start on the first story, a big shout out to Turtle News.
Turtle News,
ladies and gentlemen.
Shout out to Turtle News for that.
We've got two new
we got competition,
radical extremists from Pattaya.
Shout out Chris and Phil for that one. Anyways, okay, but sorry, we got to reset now because I got to put on my serious face because this has been a major issue. It's even affected people that we've known personally. Actually, one sing in my car recently witnessed a very bad accident, and that's what we're talking about now. Thailand's motorcycle death crisis has prompted urgent helmet reform and campaigns. Thailand's Department of Disease Control is urging all motorcyclists to wear helmets after 14,144 people died in bike-related accidents in 2024. Motorcycles account for 80% of Thailand's annual 17,000-plus road deaths, with 3 fatalities every 2 hours. Alarming data shows 84% of hospitalized motorcyclists weren't wearing helmets, contributing to a healthcare burden of over 7.8 billion baht. Officials say helmet use is critical to curbing this deadly trend and saving lives on Thailand's roads. Have to agree there. The helmet crisis. I mean, we've seen it all the time, right?
We've been talking about this since last week almost. No?
Yeah.
And so far in our area of Asok and Phetchaburi near Ramanine, we haven't really seen any enforcement. I haven't seen any police officers on the street. I haven't seen any roadblocks. I don't see anyone really getting stopped, but maybe they're going to pick it up now.
I've seen a lot more enforcement, but you have to get outside of the center of the city, I think, because the traffic's just so bad here that if you set up any police stops to do enforcement, you're just going to really clog things up even more.
This is where you need it more.
I would think it's more on the highways and stuff like that. I will say we've had one of our viewers witnessed a pretty bad motorcycle accident where the culprit, who was at wrong, a Farang, obviously we don't know what nationality, but he raced away. He just got out of there while everybody else is like screaming and crying and trying to help. Recently, Jason was stopped.
One Jason Clark?
Yeah, naughty boy.
Did he get fined?
Yeah, this was zombies doing really, but she's not my girlfriend, man. Yeah, sorry. But yeah, anyways, he talked his way out of that one. But there is an uptick on it, and I think that's a good thing. I've certainly noticed every single one of my Grab drivers or Bolt drivers now is like quick to throw it on me. So, yeah, anyways, I think it's good news that they're taking it more seriously.
All right. Well, for now, we're going to move on to our next story where a woman tries to kick a passenger off a moving Thai train over a petty dispute.
Tisk.
Wow. A Thai woman attempted to kick another passenger off a moving train during a heated argument over fresh air and a loud phone call. The altercation captured on video shows the woman in a purple shirt kicking the victim in green, prompting passenger intervention. The incident occurred on a Bangkok-Chiang Mai train and reportedly stemmed from a previous dispute involving the victim's sister. Shocked passengers, including a mother shielding her child, witnessed the chaos. Police have launched an investigation, though it's unclear if charges will be filed. Netizens are calling for attempted murder charges due to the potential danger.
Yeah, that it's definitely not the course of action to take. I don't know. Sometimes these trains, though, man, traveling this way, fresh air can be an issue. Yeah. People being inconsiderate can be an issue.
How mad do you have to get to try to throw someone off a moving train?
People snap, man. Like, it does. But yeah, I'd be curious to see if like something like attempted murder charge will stick. But
just be careful on your trains, guys. If someone's asking you for fresh air, just give them the window seat. All right.
Yeah, I guess. Like, hey, but I paid for that window
They
seat.
can't throw you out of a plane while midair, but you can be thrown
Yeah.
out of a moving train.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's one more thing for you to worry about. Just saying.
Thanks, Jay. Yeah. Anyways, just be courteous on public transport, I have to say.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. Our next story is about one of my compatriots, unfortunately. A U.S. tourist defaces a historic Chiang Mai temple wall and then flees the country. An American tourist has sparked outrage in Chiang Mai after defacing a historic wall at Wat Lam Chang's temple with black spray paint. The 650-year-old temple, a landmark from the Lanna Kingdom, has faced repeated vandalism. CCTV footage shows the suspect arriving by motorbike and fleeing Thailand soon after the act. Police are now working with immigration to track him down. The temple's abbot demands prosecution without compromise as concerns grow over foreign tourists disrespecting Thailand's cultural heritage. Authorities are calling for stricter protections amid a rising trend of similar incidents nationwide. Who does this? Why do you do this? What's the point? Like, there's plenty of places to deface, like, that you don't have to go and do sacred temples and things like that. Yeah, there's plenty of graffiti around a city like Bangkok. And there's plenty of places. I know some great graffiti artists that get permission, right? There's people that want, like, good art spray painted on their walls. But just find a nice, not sacred place to do it. Scumbag move. I'm not sure they haven't publicly identified him yet. I'm wondering if they have the actual identity, since they do know his nationality. If they'll be able to track him down and deliver some justice, or if this is just he's escaped.
If he's escaped the country already, I don't know exactly how they'll be able to get justice unless he decides to travel back a couple of years later.
I wonder, does America have extradition with Thailand? I don't think so. But
I think it would only be for certain crimes as well. You can't just extradite. But anyways. Our next story today, a Chinese fraud suspect escapes Pattaya police by jumping from a window. How easy is it to escape from police? Well, a Chinese fraud suspect, Li Jian, escaped custody by leaping from a second-floor window at Pattaya police station while officers were briefly distracted. Li had been arrested at Don Mueang airport while trying to flee to Vietnam after allegedly scamming a fellow Chinese national out of 38,712 USDT, which is approximately 260,000 million baht. Despite injuries from the fall, Li managed to flee, prompting a manhunt and raising serious concerns over police station security. Authorities are now under pressure to recapture him and answer for the embarrassing breach.
Yeah.
There we go.
There was quite a getaway, I gotta say.
Was it a getaway? I mean, he just jumped out of the window and then just made way.
He's you would expect them to. He John Wilkes Boothed it, as we say. Jumps onto the stage and then causes a manhunt.
Yeah.
You would have think he wouldn't get that far, but apparently he did. Look, scammer's gonna scam. It's a thing. It's an interesting Chinese on Chinese scam action here in Thailand. But
also, when you've just been brought to the police station, I mean, you're still wearing your normal clothes. So if you do jump away and then you just start walking normally, people might just think he's a normal dude.
Totally.
Right?
It's a thing. If you're not in the prison jumpsuits yet.
How soon should they be in the jumpsuit?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I gotta say. All right, well, I got some feel-good stories to end up the Thailand section of things. So, this is big news earlier this week. There was a Danish man that was missing. Everybody was putting up posters, asking around on Facebook, things like that. Turns out he was just living with his girlfriend in southern Thailand. So nothing to fear, everybody. A 59-year-old Danish man, Brian Dilling Peterson, feared missing in Thailand, was found safe and living with his new girlfriend in Nakhon Si Thammarat. After losing contact with family and deleting his Facebook, relatives assumed the worst. However, Peterson explained he was just enjoying life and unaware of the concern. He said he deleted his account after it was hacked, though his girlfriend claimed it was to hide their relationship from his estranged wife, also a likely scenario. Peterson will return to Denmark before his visa expires on June 9th, much to the relief of his worried family.
There we go. Just wanted to run away from his ex-wife and live with his new girlfriend.
Can't even do a digital detox these days, without everybody freaking out. But
you know what, babe? We're gonna go off-grid.
Yeah.
We're gonna go off-grid. I'm gonna delete my phone. We're gonna live life.
Yeah, just enjoy your company, babe. couldn't do it, apparently.
Not as easy as you think.
Allowed. Yeah, I guess not. Hey, look, I'm glad everybody's...
Just cut ties with all your family before you do it.
That's the thing. Be honest. Like, you know what? I don't want to talk to you guys anymore.
I'm going off grid. Don't contact me.
Yeah. Something would be nice.
But then again, like, people would be like, this doesn't sound like him.
Yeah, it's true. It could be the kidnappers. Anyways, he's fine.
Magic.
It's safe. So congratulations to everybody involved.
All right. Well, we'll move on to our last story from today, which is a feel-good story again, which is regarding an abandoned Thai boy given a new home after teacher's viral plea. A lovely story coming out of Thailand. A 13-year-old Thai boy, abandoned by his parents and living in poverty with his elderly great-grandparents, now has a new home thanks to a teacher's plea and community support. Living without a roof, clean water, or electricity, his situation sparked action from social agencies and donors. The Ministry of Social Development and local officials provided him with a safe, clean home and basic necessities. His teacher expressed gratitude and promised continued updates as the boy begins a new chapter filled with hope and security.
Yay!
Yeah, there's a story. Public and people coming together. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we improve people's lives one person at a time.
It does kind of suck that something has to go viral before the help comes.
Yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it? Like that it is what it is. Like our good old friend Friso at Bangkok Community Help Foundation. You know, he's he's dedicated his life to charity and helping people. And you know, charity is that one thing where like you just want to do it for the good of people and you don't really want any fame or anything in return, but they still have to publicize what they're doing so that it reaches more people and more people. It's like a constant thing.
It's a tool. Like social media is a tool that can be very powerful in affecting change. So here's one such case.
It's necessary.
Indeed, you gotta love it. Well, anyways, guys, that'll do it for our Thailand section of the news. Before we get into our ASEAN section, let's hear a quick word from our sponsors at Fazwas. Time.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Fazwas. For
Thailand's home for real estate.
Indeed. Yeah, the home for finding your home.
Yeah.
As we could say. And you'll find it fast with a Z. Thank you.
You'll just... Moving on.
That's printed, okay? It's running. All right. Anyways, we're moving on, everybody. Okay, so, again, serious face. I got to put this on because this has been the hot topic in terms of the geopolitics of Southeast Asia right now. It's Thailand and Cambodia.
Okay.
Thailand and Cambodia have both mobilized troops amid the rising border tensions. That's right. The tensions between Thailand and Cambodia are rising as both nations deploy troops and evacuate civilians near contested border zones, including around Ubon Ratchathani's Chongbuk area. Cambodia is accused of crossing into Thai territory and escalating claims around ancient temple sites. In response, Thailand has mobilized military forces and reaffirmed its commitment to peaceful negotiations through the June 14th Joint Boundary Committee talks. Despite diplomatic efforts, heavy weapon deployments, and Cambodia's growing arsenal raise fears of renewed conflict, prompting urgent calls for de-escalation before the situation spirals into a repeat of past clashes.
There we go.
This is not fun to talk about.
Tensions.
Yeah. Look, they have it's in about 8 days. They'll be doing their big old meeting. I think it's in Phnom Penh that they'll be meeting. And hopefully they can come to some diplomatic resolution and agree on whatever the borders are supposed to be. Obviously, these borders, you know, if you go back, however far back you go, they've moved back and forth. So if we're talking about historical claims, at what point in history do you talk about, right? So whatever it is, I hope that they come to a decision that both sides can just stick to and set a new precedent so that we can be like, okay, good, we're done.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, what is this? What is this land anyways? Is it even, look, there's a temple, I guess, but it's not worth killing over, I think.
Hashtag Jerusalem.
Okay.
Moving on to our next story. ICC submits more evidence in crimes against humanity case versus Duterte. The ICC prosecution has submitted its sixth batch of evidence against former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte in a case involving crimes against humanity, particularly murder, during his anti-drug campaign. This includes 90 new confidential items. The ICC previously issued a public arrest warrant, and Duterte was surrendered to the court in March 2025. Over 421 documents and 60 16 hours of audiovisual evidence are expected to be used in the September 23rd hearing to confirm charges. The ICC believes Duterte is criminally responsible as an indirect co-perpetrator from 2011 to 2019.
Yeah, they're taking it very seriously.
They're going hard on Duterte.
I mean, look, it's one of those things where Duterte has literally bragged about killing people in the past. He's like literally bragged about it. But even regardless, he was a leader of the country. It's one of those who will rid me of this meddlesome priest kind of statements, right? Like he was rewarding all of his people for the extrajudicial killings of a lot of drug dealers. A lot of people might have just been killed and they just sprinkled the crack on them afterwards, you know? Like,
but I thought if you're the person in charge of a country, you can get away with anything. Or does that only apply to America?
I think that's what Duterte's finding out right now, is that maybe that's not the case. Yeah, and well, not if Elon has anything to say about it over there too.
Yeah, there we go. That too.
But at the same time, Duterte still enjoys a massive amount of popularity, which is something that can't be ignored, particularly for domestic Filipino politics. All right, our next story takes us down to Indonesia, where foreigners are apparently facing the death penalty in Bali over drug charges. Indonesian authorities have arrested 3 foreign nationals in Bali, a Canadian-born Australian, an Indian, and an American, on drug charges that could carry the death penalty. The Indian suspect caught at the airport was allegedly smuggling drugs for the Australian, known as PR, who had been in Bali since 1988. Hashish and marijuana linked to PR were traced to shipments from the U.S. and Philippines. Separately, an American was caught collecting amphetamine pills from a Bali post office. All suspects face Indonesia's harsh narcotic laws, with trials pending. Indonesia currently has over 500 people on death row, mostly for drug offenses. It's pretty wild to me that the majority of the death penalty inmates are there on drug charges, not on, like, you know, murder. Like, you would expect that to be a more serious offense. But I think the way that the Indonesian government sees it is these are murderers. Like, they're bringing in drugs that are harming lives and hurting people. I don't know about the marijuana and the hash, if that's doing that. I don't think anybody's died of that. But something like methamphetamine or, you know, heroin and things like that, you can understand the harsher stance. I don't know. Death penalty for drugs. Don't mess around with smuggling down here, everybody.
Yeah. Eat good food instead, which takes us to our next story, where Vietnam has reached 9 Michelin-Starred restaurants in 2025 list. Vietnam now boasts 9 Michelin-Starred restaurants, with Ciel and Coco Dining in Ho Chi Minh City newly earning 1 star each. Ciel impresses with refined techniques and intimate ambience, while Coco Dining blends traditional Vietnamese flavors with modern flair. 7 restaurants retained their stars, including Hanoi's Gia and Tam V, HCMC's Anan Saigon, and Da Nang's La Maison 1888. Chef La Hong Viet won the Young Chef Award, and Le Mai Garden received a Green Star for sustainability. Michelin praised the new wave of chefs reviving Vietnamese culinary heritage with innovation and heart. But do they have a 3-star restaurant?
Look at you getting it's a little
like
Thai
Sorn.
pride. Yeah, exactly. Look, congratulations, Vietnam.
Nah, I'm joking. Yeah, well done, Vietnam. Well done.
It's I think it's just hilarious to me that the Michelin man's up there, like, giving the awards.
Yeah, I know.
It's like really
like, bro, you sell tires. What's going on?
Yeah. Look,
You know, I've never had Vietnamese food.
What?
Never even tasted it. I don't know what Vietnamese food is.
What are we?
I need a Vietnamese person and friend.
What?
To take
you
me.
Don't. Like, I can take you.
Oh, yeah,
like,
all right. Or you could take me.
This is insanity. How do you, like, we live right next to Vietnam. I'm getting
What does that have
flustered.
to do with anything?
I'm like, it's
live
like saying
next to
I've never
Vietnam.
eaten, like, I don't know, pizza or something like that. Look, it's not like
Pizza's
that bad,
quite
but
popular and famous, though.
Sure. So is Vietnamese food, dude. Like,
Is it?
fuck on me, bro.
Where
Like,
do you
oh,
get Vietnamese food around here?
tons of places. There's
Really?
a lot of good Vietnamese
Okay.
food in Bangkok.
I guess I've unfortunately never had the pleasure to have a Vietnamese friend that has taken me.
We're going to lunch, bro. I'm gonna
Okay.
sort you out,
We'll
my
do
friend.
it.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Wow. All right. Anyways, that was a
So
shock,
offended. It's like, how dare you?
I am going to correct this. I got to write this in the world. Look at people in the comments like, what? Like, thank you for backing me up.
Je
Cynic
apologize.
Arts. Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, those are some of the stories from across Thailand. You can find more stories on the Thaiger.com or join in the conversation on any of these stories at
ASEANnow.com. Yeah.
That's Thailand's largest forum. Please like, subscribe,
Yes.
follow us.
You can hit the join button, guys. If you see that, you see Damien Jesser has that cool green name.
He's got special emojis. He gets the next badge.
Oh, yeah.
If Damien ever comes to Bangkok, he can come visit us. He gets a free T-shirt.
Oh, yeah. Among other things. Maybe even one of these schnazzy mugs.
Oh, definitely a mug.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
a tote bag.
Oh,
if it's
around
still available.
Yeah, we got. We'll I'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do consider it. Helps out the channel, keep GMT going.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, don't forget other social media as well.
Yeah.
TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. You'll see a bunch of content that you don't normally see here on the YouTube channel.
Go to Fazbaz and if you want to buy real estate. And let's go to the comment section.
And there you go. Plugged. All right, cool.
If you like that story, please like and subscribe. And for more Thailand news, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok at The Thaiger, or you can go to thethaiger.com and join the conversation.